Pero eso en tu caso es para hacer tema de stream, aunque para las grabaciones no sé si afectaría.
A ver, entiendo que sí que afectará. Yo tengo
Para el juego con
96p,
muchos
50
FPS sí.
FPS.
Para juegos en plan de este estilo que van a más de solo a 60, no creo.
They say the Tenryou Commission is directly controlled by the Shogun. They're the ones responsible for
Bueno,
maintaining law and
no sé
order
qué configuración
in
se supone que
Inazuma.
tendrá, porque a
Why would
mí
they
me
take
suele
action
dar
against one of
problemillas,
their own?
en cierto modo, en plan de
Kevin
rendimiento,
doesn't get it.
grabando.
There seems to be some commotion over there. Let's go see what's happening.
I'll ask one
Probé a
more
grabar
time.
el Apex
Do
con
you
esa
intend to withhold
configuración y
this
no ha
month's
vuelto mal.
emergency provisions?
The entire clan is counting on that food.
Así
How many
pude
times do I have to say
ahorrarme el
it?
tener que
I don't
grabar
know
con
anything about emergency provisions.
You
con
dare
el-
deceive us? Those provisions are essential. Do you
You samurai think you can just do whatever you
GeForce
please?
Experience.
The Tenryou Commission will hear of this.
Oh,
Queda esto
And who are you?
último,
one
técnicamente
of
ya está.
Kurosawa's gang, no doubt.
What? We just happened to be passing by. We heard the commotion and came to see what
Hay
the
un
matter
cofre aquí,
was.
¿no? Por
I
aquí.
see. You seem to have
Oh,
come
no.
just at the right
Ah,
time.
no, creo que no.
This is Kurosawa. He's a samurai
Creo
and
que
a
he
member of the
recogido.
Shogun's
Entonces,
army.
¿cuál me
They
falta?
issue emergency provisions to the area, and he's the one responsible for distribution. In the past, we'd simply ask him for provisions and everything would be delivered. He's keeping the provisions for himself. I just know it.
No one seems to care
Una
about us.
cosa.
We used to think Kurosawa was a kind man. It's no wonder all the visions have been confiscated. The Raiden Shogun doesn't need people like him helping her rule the nation.
This must be one of the people Ayaka asked us to help. Maybe we should talk to Kurosawa and see.
I've never even heard of these emergency. I don't know whether it's rumors or whether they're trying to blackmail me.
No pasa nada.
But our
Los dos
own
cofres
family
que me
can barely get
faltan ya
by
los
as
tengo
it
marcados.
is. No, if you'll excuse me, I've got other And that's the first bit of truth I've heard all day.
Well,
Pero
that's
si no lo llega a
strange.
coger.
You were helping enforce the Vision Hunt decree.
To be perfectly honest, I don't seem to remember the details. All I know is that I will perform certain things every month, and it's not just that. I have this unsettling feeling, like
Does it
ahí
have to
está.
do with the missing emergency provision?
Así,
I
con
didn't
este
take any. Like I said,
y el
if I
otro
was
ya
taking them
tendré
for myself, I
todo.
wouldn't be going through such hard times right now. To top it all off, my house was just raided by treasure hoarders. If you don't believe me, go find the treasure hoarders yourself.
Huh. He seems to be telling the truth. But we better confirm. Let's go round up those treasure hoarders and see what they have to say. We should be able to follow their tracks. They couldn't have gone too far.
Ok, vamos ahí. Los agua. Coño, están aquí abajo. Ah, es solo hablar con
We
ellos.
really outdid ourselves this. All those samurai houses packed with goods. You haven't
Yeah.
seen anything yet. Today's
Ah, ya
just the
sé.
beginning. I'll be leading you all on an epic journey of pillage and plunder. That will. You demand, boss.
These seem like the treasure hoarders
Todo
we're
hecho,
after.
técnicamente.
Ah, hay que pegarse. Ok. Let's go.
Another test subject.
Go.
A little taste.
Ay,
No, my sword. Rain outlines your.
Ok, ahora sí que sí, ya tengo todo hecho.
You're open.
ahí.
Oh, there goes all the Mora. Come on, boss. Think. Not bad, kid. You ever think of joining the treasure hoarders? We could use someone like you. Kurosawa. So he's the one who sent you after us, huh?
So what did you see inside?
Food supplies. You kidding? That place was a complete mess. I didn't want anyone else to see it, so I was
Bueno.
planning on opening it myself once we
Perfecto,
now that you've
evento
caught
hecho.
us. How about we make a deal? That
You've got a deal. Now,
Huh? What the?
There's nothing in here but IOUs.
yeah. And they
Oh,
all
shit,
seem to
me
be
la
made
cargas.
out to the owner of a general goods store. We better talk to this Miss Aoi and get to the bottom of this. As for you guys, you're free to go.
Yes.
So, we redeemed ourselves for some IOUs.
Shut it. Let's just get.
Madre mía. A los ladrones. Ah, es la tipa esta. Aoi es la que te vende de estos de Ayaka. Y de Ayaka de Yuimiya, coño.
Welcome to Tsukumomono
¿El
Groceries.
que te vende qué?
Or perhaps there's something you want to
La
inquire
planta
about?
esa. La subí a Yuimiya. Para defenderla. Estoy en una misión y estoy hablando con la tía.
Ah, so you're friends of Kurosawa.
Whoa, whoa! Let's not get ahead. How did Kurosawa end up owing you so much?
Let me think. Kurosawa would come regularly to purchase large
Vale, pues
quantities
ya
of food.
tengo esto
However, the
hecho.
price of provisions began to skyrocket recently,
Perfecto.
and his salary
Me ha dado
was no
mucha
longer
pereza,
enough to
pero
cover the cost.
ya lo he
So
hecho.
that's how he was getting those emergency provisions. But why did he have to purchase a usual amount?
Well, if you think about it, the citizens receiving the emergency provisions must have. Kurosawa thought that it would be quite the disappointment for them if they found they didn't have enough. So he deemed it necessary to take on the debt rather than let the people down.
Wow.
El Kurosawa está
Kurosawa
jodido.
was purchasing all, and no one ever appreciated what he did.
People's attitudes will always reflect their circumstances. If you ask me, had Kurosawa told everyone the truth about the supplies from the store, of course, I'm sure there would still have been some unrest. What he was doing was truly a thankless deed. As for why he chose to spend his own money on emergency provisions and never tell anyone, if you're still curious, why don't you go ask him yourself? I see. That reminds me, it seems that his vision was recently confiscated. Most unfortunate. If he doesn't clear the debt on his name, he'll have no choice but to sell that sword that is so dear to him.
Y a ver si me toca la espada
Didn't he tell
del
you?
sacrificio a
I've asked
tope.
him about its origins. He told me that it was a gift from his father. In hindsight, I regret that I never made an offer on it. Why don't you ask him about the sword yourself? Oh, but before you go, if you would kindly settle today's bill.
Oye, ¿cómo que liquida la deuda del día de hoy? O sea, encima nos tenemos que comer nosotros.
But we didn't buy anything.
Information is also a kind of commodity.
Oh.
Wouldn't you agree?
Ay, me ha dado, hija
Don't
de
worry.
puta.
I won't charge much for information about
Y sí,
Kurosawa.
ascendida,
Nothing we ever
Shanlin.
discussed with
At least we now know where the emergency provisions are coming from. Let's go talk to Kurosawa again and see if.
Sí. Aunque antes de nada, voy a comprar las percibe tormenta.
Ya tengo ascendida a Shanlin al 80 y ahí subida. Perfecto. Ahora solo tengo que farmear esto. Tengo que farmear los cacharros para subir de catch.
What are you doing here all by yourself?
I presented them with a choice. Either they... It turned out to be a real time saver, actually. Did you manage to track down the treasure hoarders?
Vale, se le contamos el asunto.
That just about sums it up. It turns out that you really were distributing emergency provisions.
Strange. Is that... I don't really
Oh,
have
no
any
tengo más
such
dinero, tío.
recollection.
Me cago en la
Why was I
puta.
purchasing emergency provisions for everyone? But I could not deny that when I brandished my sword to scare those two away, I could sense that my body was somehow... This sword was once wielded by my father. I remember once when I was young, I wanted to sneak out with the blade and show it off to the kids next door. What did he say? It would seem that I forgot many important things when my vision was... All I can remember now is my father telling me that this blade bore his life's and said to me,
Hey, recognize the words?
Virtud y
Virtue
justicia.
and justice? Somehow those two words seem to explain everything now.
Por cierto, se me escucha. Bueno, no creo que te tenga que preguntar por ti, ya me
Taking
hubieras
on
dicho algo.
seemingly endless debts to make others happy.
Escucha
But
bien.
what use are virtue and justice? I purchased the provisions for those in need. And look how
Con
things...
esto tengo un
The Tenryo
50%.
Commission seized my
Aproximadamente
vision.
con la ulti.
And the
No
irony of
está
all
mal,
of it
pero
is,
debería tener algo más.
I'm incapable of being a good person. Yet,
Yet another troubled soul. When we get the chance, let's speak to Toma about Kurosawa's debt. In any case, we must never let him sell off that sword. Yeah, seems like losing all ambition is a terrible experience. Fortunately for us, you don't. Let's go find the next poor soul. The third person who had their vision taken is supposed to be a famous sword master around the... Hyman heard that he's the present-day master of Meikyo Shisui art.
Meikyo
Sounds
Shisui.
pretty impressive.
Hostia, Shisui me suena mucho.
This is his dojo. Luckily, there's some people around.
Nanako, don't worry. Since those thugs that challenged the dojo were strong, but he fought...
Maybe, but things have gotten dangerous before in the past, but it's never.
It's just because he's been possessed, that's all. Once the exorcism has taken place...
Hey there!
Who are you? I don't care whether you're trespassers or just here to harass us while Sensei... Don't make me draw my blade, or you won't live to regret it.
¿Por qué le llama espada si en verdad es una katana?
No! You got it so
Son,
wrong!
es distinto.
We just came here to...
Una espada medieval y. O sea, una espada europea y una japonesa. Hay mucha diferencia. Es por ser. Tikimiki.
Disciples?
Yep. We've heard all about the mighty master of Meikyo Shisui art.
Madre mía, no tengo nada de mora, tú. Voy a tener que gastar un montón de...
From the
Just
way
the
you're
mora.
dressed, Please, accept my apologies. You haven't arrived at the best of times, I'm afraid. Sensei got possessed recently, and he's still recovering. I see you are earnest in your pursuit. Sensei's name is Domon. Though self-taught, he mastered the art of the sword to a high level. He once said that his goal was to become the best sword master in the world. And so, even while training us, he continued to hone his own art. But then...
Not long ago, Sensei, he says the strangest things over and over. Junya and I have discussed it, and we both think that he's being possessed by an evil spirit. But if I'm honest, I still have my doubt.
The Grand Narukami Shrine.
You haven't heard of it? It's the largest shrine on Narukami Island. The head shrine maiden is reputed to have very close ties with the almighty shogun herself.
Poner con el santuario Narukami, ¿no? La Virgen.
Not that we'd have any means of
Ahí
involving the
está
head
brillando
shrine
algo
maiden,
chungo.
of course. But so don't worry, Nanako. Sensei is... The exorcism will take place this evening. You're both...
So, losing your vision can cause possession?
Shh. It's like just now, when she asked him who the people were, it looked like he was in great distress. He was covering his ears and all the while he kept calling those names. One of them was Anzai. He used to be a fellow disciple of Sensei's. His senior, in fact. But Sensei defeated him in a duel many years ago. Sensei wouldn't stop calling his name. The ritual has now begun. All we can do is patiently await the result. Please, excuse me for a moment while I fetch some water.
Joder, la forma de correr.
Huh? Who's that sneaking around? We won't let them get away. Seems they aren't here. Should we keep going further up? Is this definitely the right place? Let's look a little further up. Aha! Suspicious person!
How? Are you sure you're Dolmon's unless...
Excuse, and what are you doing sneaking around these parts?
Bad news? I don't care to talk about that time anymore. But
His
Obvio
senior?
puedes farmear bastante
Anzai.
dinero.
Yes, that's me. Because I don't wish to see Domon or anyone
tengo
else
120
associated. When
mil.
we were young, we trained under the same sword master. I had begun training 5 years before him, and everyone looked up to me as practitioners of Make Yoshi's Sui art, seek to achieve stillness of mind, freedom from all agitation. But Domon was different. The first thing he did when he joined was go straight to our sensei and ask him, with a beat. Sensei scolded him and told him that the art of the sword should not be used for such vain ends. Sensei said that coveting the title of the best sword master, I thought so too at the time. But Domon began making. Only then did I realize that it was Domon who had long since. He was consumed by his singular desire to become the best in the world.
Sure sounds like he meant business.
Because until he arrived, I was convinced that I would succeed our sensei as, of all the disciples, I was the most gifted. Domon's arrival changed everything. When we sparred, later, I heard that he sparred with Sensei too. Sensei was advanced in years by then. After that, I wanted nothing further to do with him. Deep down, though, I still... So, when I heard rumors that
con
he
que
had lost
aquí-
his mind,
Con que sí tengo
my first
86
reaction was to dismiss
con
them as
8
false.
así.
How could he? I
86
decided
con
to
8, o sea,
quietly
tengo
come and see if it were
14%,
true.
no, casi un
Then,
13%
to my complete astonishment,
de
I
probabilidad
heard, so you see.
de que sea no crítico.
Okay, you've heard my story.
Porque
Seems like we
prácticamente
got
siempre
it
va a ser
wrong this
crítico.
time. Still, Paimon's not sure we should bring him back with us.
What? Does that mean he's just lost his...
Nanako, please.
I am sorry. With what powers I have, I can find no sign of any but spirits may take a myriad of forms in this, and all is certainly not lost.
Lady Yai? Is that the same Lady Yai that I think you mean?
The head shrine maiden of the Grand Narukami Shrine? That's wonderful news!
Correct. Lady Yai is most knowledgeable indeed. I am unable to say for certain whether an evil spirit has possessed...
Excuse me, Miss Inagi, but I must ask...
That won't be necessary. All that is required of you is your timely arrival at the Grand... I must leave now.
Who'd have thought Lady Yai herself would have taken notice of our sensei's case?
Do you mean to say that Sensei isn't renowned enough to deserve Lady...
No, that's not what I meant at all. I just mean this is Lady Yai. Anyway, given that you've traveled all this way just to meet our sensei...
Sure! After all, everyone seems pretty excited about Lady Yai. Who knows? Maybe we'll be able to find out a thing or two about the Raiden Chokan from her.
Ahora tengo que subir al santuario, loco.
Es así.
Habla con Mico principal. Con la amigo principal. Debe ser el tipo que venía. Pues muy bien. A subir que te cagas. Estupendo. estupendo. A ver. Uf. Hostia, un poco. Está un poquito alto. Como que voy a llegar. Buah, me voy a tirar un ratillo para llegar. La madre que me parió. Por ponerme a 20. Han puesto una etiqueta nueva. Es la de pesca. Nice. No, espérate, creo que si voy a, desde la hacienda a Camino Exacto, a lo mejor me pilla mejor subiendo. Pero bueno, vamos a subir en vertical. A lo mejor me encuentro cosas por aquí. ¿No hay algún personaje que te gaste menos la resistencia al escalar? Era interesante.
Creo que hay uno que hace algo parecido.
Como Amber con el planeador. Buah, yo no sé si llego. La Virgen. Una garza. Ahí hay un sitio. Hay un puzzle ahí. Ya lo haré, ya exploraré todo más a fondo. Por la coña estoy llegando. Hay un electróculo arriba, era obvio. Vale.
No hay ninguno, ¿no?
Y ahora aquí.
Ah, no. Sí que hay uno, si no me equivoco. Ok, creo que yo sepa es Xiao.
¡No! Que se cae a veces el personaje de forma estúpida y se empieza a deslizar.
Efectivamente, ya decía yo, digo, juraría que había uno. Claro, es Xiao. El que tú dices es Xiao.
Coño, ha ido el electróculo arriba.
Bueno, pues eso.
Ah,
Tu señorito es Xiao. El que gasta menos estamina escalando.
ostras, pues no lo sabía. No pensé que hubiera uno.
Sí, yo sabía que tenía que haber uno. O digo, no sé cuál es. Digo, no hay. Digo, no es que no haya, es que no lo tengo. Y me acabo de acordarme. El señorito Xiao. Está todo guay, Xiao, la verdad. Da mucho.
Perfecto. El
Lo
mirador.
quiero pillar cuando pueda ser. El siguiente personaje que voy a intentar pillar después de Ganyu va a ser Xiao. Porque quiero tener todos los anemos, tío. Está súper chulo. Mola una barbaridad, qué cabrón.
Pone otro aquí.
Pues ya está. He hecho esto. Tengo que hacer las diarias.
Do you think that's Lady Ai? Oh,
Otra.
no wonder Junyo is
La del
so
pelo
excited.
rosa.
She has a really
¿La de
striking
Miko?
presence. Also, is it just Paim?
Keep away. I gave up the
La
art of the
señorita
sword.
Yaemiko.
Please.
As you can see, Lady
No,
Ai,
ya hay.
Domo
sí,
has
ya hay Miko, como has
persisted in
dicho,
this
¿no?
state for some time
Sí,
now.
coño.
Nico.
He appears to see those who have lost
Joder.
to him in duels past,
Se va a parar el cerebro
gathered
por un
all
momento, sí.
around him to
La señorita
persecute
Jai.
him.
Lady
Electro.
Ai, it must be a possession,
Sí,
right?
¿Este personaje está
This
jugable?
is nothing like him at all.
todavía
And
no. Pero
I'm
lo
sorry.
estará.
It is clear to me that your
Todos los
sensei is not
personajes que
possessed by any
tienen
evil spirit.
visión son jugables en un futuro. En algún momento van a ser
No, pero me refiero a
jugables.
que si lo han sacado. O
But-
todavía no.
No, he dicho que no.
Yes. Unable to cope with the tremendous
dije todavía
pressure he
no.
was under, he suffered a spiritual collapse. With his wits impaired, as one who is thrown into the sea, though he fights back death. As for what has triggered this change,
Mm.
I believe it must be the loss of his vision.
Stripped of his ambition? But Lady Yacht.
Your school practices Meikyo Shisui art. Stillness of mind, freedom from all agitation. What a fine notion that would be if any in this world could ever hope to. There was once one who claimed to be indifferent to rank and reward, and who fled enraged when defeated by his junior.
Tengo otro.
And then there was an aged swordmaster who was aggrieved. Then, what of the
Chismopillo.
one who crossed blades with his own sensei and beloved fellow
Ay.
disciple?
A la gente le
Lady
gusta
I'm
mucho a Yaimiko.
The path of the
súper
swordmaster is
cute.
filled with twists. It requires one to take their sword for only a deep commitment to his ambition to become the best made it possible for him. When that ambition disappeared, he began to doubt himself as he battled his growing anxiety. Much like
Poor sensei.
I'm sorry, Father.
That's enough.
Huh? Did he follow us the whole way here?
Hansai, why are there two of you? You're here for revenge, aren't you?
You're right to assume that my feelings towards you are far from It's been so long now that I made peace with it years ago. I don't think most of the people you beat along the way would hold it against you. On the contrary, when you cut our ambition, now I know that we can't place our hopes in you any longer. But that is no reason to strip them of theirs. Follow the way.
But what if one day, the same thing happens to them? I put everything I had into trying to become the best. If there's a chance they'll end up like me one day, I'd rather they stay where they are now.
Have you asked them what they think?
Sensei, after you rescued me from the hands of the I can't know whether I will suffer in my future. I want to keep going until the day that I can stand.
Nanako's far from the only one.
Goodness.
You see? You can being stripped of your ambition is something that's never happened to me. So I can't claim to understand it. But So, just as I once placed my ambitions onto you, you are not in the same position that I was. When I left...
I'm sorry to have made you worry for me, and for I no longer have the resolve to become the best in the world. The emptiness and suffering inside of me, but as your sensei, I shall... This is my promise. And
You can count on that. I'd be checking in on you occasionally anyway, but I am now used to the life of a wanderer. Well, don't just stand there staring at me.
So even though his ambition was taken away, his disciples can take it over on his back.
Traveler, a moment, please.
So, my intuition was correct. The wind that blows from afar carries for us to meet now is premature. Nevertheless, you set foot on these islands at precisely the right moment.
Uy, esta tía.
I have high hopes for you,
¿Qué
child.
pasa con esa tía?
Ooh, Lady Ai
No sé por qué tiene como
interest in you. She seems super mysterious. Paimon's
una
so curious
expectativa
what
de
she
mí.
really...
Dice que no la
We
decepcionamos.
can come back to it another...
No entiendo. Ahora hay que ir a hablar con Ayaka. Ayaka que no tiene amigos.
No.
Oh, Ayaka! Guess who fulfilled all your
¿Por qué misión más guapa es esta, tío? ¿Qué misión diaria más guapa? Hablas con un personaje y le das un ítem de monster. Le di un gancho lobo que tengo 500 y pico y ya está. Misión completada. De las mejores misiones diarias. Si es verdad que te cuesta un objeto, pues ya ves tú. Qué tontería. Si es un gancho lobo lo consigo súper fácil.
Coño, que Ayaka tiene
Traveler,
armadura
Paimon.
delantera.
It is a
O sea, en
pleasure
el
to
torso
finally
superior.
meet you both face to face.
Sí.
No lo
No
sabe.
tienes bote o cosas así.
No, pero pensaba que tenía simplemente el kimono. No me daba cuenta hasta
I
ahora.
have heard all about how you helped our three friends. My sincerest thanks to you.
Yeah,
A ver.
Ayaka,
Pum.
Because now that you have done the three
Pum.
things
Ahora
I
te
asked of you,
apago. Y ahora te
wait
prendo.
a second.
Y ahora.
But isn't Toma your...
Madre mía.
Oh.
Es que voy a hacer backflips. Hijo de puta. Bueno.
Paimon, you were most entertaining.
A tu casa.
Oh, okay then. Ayaka, you seem pretty different out in the open compared to how you...
Solicitud de amistad aceptada.
Thank you both kindly.
Ayaka no hubiera estado mal tenerla, pero... no sé.
Back to the matter at hand. You have now witnessed the pain of those deprived of their visions. What are your feelings on what you have seen?
Está
Perhaps in
guay.
the eyes of a deity such as the almighty
Me
Shogun,
parece que está muy
thunders
chuli.
roar, lightnings flash, the winds assault, and the rains descent. But I believe that surely you
Al
understand
menos es
what they
bastante
must
poderosa,
It
pero
seems
vamos,
that
que también
perhaps
te
now
digo
you
que
can
yo creo que es
appreciate
más
my feelings
recomendable
on all of
antes que
this.
Ayaka pillarte a
In
Eula.
which case,
Porque
perhaps
Eula
you
Por
tienes
el
will
la
be willing
ulti,
to
pepardo.
reconsider your
mete un
stance?
tortón.
You will? Really? Naturally.
All right, bravo, my lady.
See? I told you he wouldn't reject
Porque
them.
el pepardazo que mete, o sea,
Now then,
literalmente te pones a
given that
Eula
the
con
remainder
Raiden
of our
Shogun
discussion pertains to
y
matters
Victoria
of a more
Magistral.
confidential nature,
Claro, porque
perhaps
al fin
we
y al
can
cabo
move
la
to the
Shogun
Emerald
Raiden le
Tea
da un
House?
bufo a
We ought
los
not to
personajes.
involve other members of...
Le va recargando la ulti. Y si te pones a otro de hielo, al Kaella, por ejemplo, que vaya haciendo de batería aparte de la
Please
Raiden
continue
Shogun,
without me.
pues es un equipo full support de la
So, what's the deal with this
Nuker.
place anyway?
This is land that was gifted to the Yashiro Commission by the Shogun. The Kamisato clan has the
Destinado a
exclusive
que
right
la
to
Raiden
plan,
Shogun meta un
build, and
tortón
repair
ahí
any property on
que
this
haga
land.
mucho pupa y luego
And such
la
privileges
otra,
exist
la
due to
Eula,
the Yashiro Commission's role in
que los
managing
mate a todos.
ceremonial affairs.
Oh, Paimon gets it. Got
Once the number of ceremonial
Y
affairs
te pones
conducted
a
in the
Bennett,
city
por
began to
ejemplo, y
decline,
ala.
our forebears built a tea house here.
makes sense. Perfect place for a secret base.
In any case, we can talk freely here.
Digo, yo creo que Raiden es un personaje que es tipo 20 y que lo puede llevar
The issue
en
is
cualquier
this.
equipo prácticamente.
For the vast majority of people, after all, it is but a tiny minority of people who receive visions. Because of this, the attitude of most people towards the Vision Hunt decree is one of
How can they be like that?
Nevertheless, in addition to us, there is also the
No te
resistance on
quieto, bicho.
Watatsumi Island.
Resistance? You mean...
Yes,
Cómo odio las
many who have lost or
pelotas
fear
estas,
losing
tío.
their visions have rallied together to say a little more about Sangonomiya. Historically, there has always been some conflict, but I do wonder whether there may be some other agenda behind their resistance movement.
Venga, ven. Ven, hijo
The
puta, ven.
almighty Shogun.
Ahí está.
She inspires awe, commands respect. It was her almost complete lack of any emotion. Of course, we have tried on numerous occasions. Unfortunately, each time a proposal to repeal the decree arrives at Tenchukaku, they invariably adopt a stance of unconditional support for the Shogun's decisions. It almost makes one wonder whether they had a hand in the Shogun's sudden decision to issue the Vision Hunt decree.
Ooh, Paimon!
Oh? What would
Have you got a plan yet to fight the Vision Hunt decree?
To be honest, we do not.
What?
Please, do not forget that challenging the Vision Hunt decree is tantamount to challenging a deity.
So,
Well,
Vale,
for the moment,
misión diaria hecha.
all we can do
No
is
tengo
try and
todas
reduce the
hechas.
harm that is being caused by this decree. For
Tendría que
example,
quitarme todas
by
las
providing
misiones
vision
que
bearers with
tengo
safe
por hacer.
refuge, or manufacturing counterfeit visions for
Me da
them
mucha
as a
pereza.
contingency measure.
You're telling Paimon that there are people out there.
Don't underestimate the talents of the craftspeople in Hanamizaka. To the naked eye, their counterfeits are indistinguishable from the genuine. The problem we are facing right now is that Master Masakatsu, who was providing us with counterfeit visions.
Darn!
Yes. We knew it was not a long-term solution, and that it was only a matter of time before it would be exactly. I feel the same way. But given mine and Toma's identities as part of the Yashiro Commission, by no means do we intend to place. When you are ready, go to Hanamizaka and look for a fireworks shop run by the Nagonohara
La
family.
tienda de fuegos
There,
artificiales.
you will find someone who can.
Ahí es donde está el padre de Yuimiya.
Sí.
¿Cuántas Proto Gems?
Yo tengo ya para asegurarme a Ganju. O sea, yo ya me puedo asegurar a Ganju.
2400.
Tengo el 100% y con las protogemas que tengo para llegar al Pity. O sea que el personaje que quisiera tener, lo puedo tener. Si me gustaría tener a Tartaglia, voy a esperarme a Ganju y luego con un poco de suerte quizá me saque a Xiao. Si lo sacan también. Aparte, como los próximos banners van a ser Tartaglia otra vez, por tercera vez, y Jutao, los podré ahorrar.
So this is the Vision Hunt decree in action, huh? We can't just sit around and watch things unfold, can we?
Pasamos a la acción.
Hey, wait.
Coño, si conoce a Yuimiya y todo.
There's someone trying to get our attention.
No pensé que tuvieras contacto directo con ella.
Come on, this way.
¿Tú has visto The Walking Dead?
What's going on?
Vi nada más que un capítulo. Y ya sabes de qué temporada.
Quiet. Just sit tight
Pues
and
el
listen
caso es
for a
que han
moment.
metido en el Fortnite
This isn't right, you
el
know.
personaje principal de la serie,
Vision doesn't mean you can sit
el
back and
Rick.
watch others in Hey, shh. If you don't give
No caía quién coño era este, la verdad.
Wise choice.
Pero ahora caigo, o sea, le he visto la cara. Es bastante parecida, ¿eh? La cara que el Fortnite se asemeja bastante a la cara del actor.
Many thanks, Miss Yoimiya. If you hadn't
Está...
swapped me a fake just now, I'm sure I would have lost
La
it.
supervivencia. Está Rick, está Mission y está Daryl. La Mission y el Daryl ya están de antes, pero ahora está Rick. Madre mía.
Think nothing of it. Oh, right. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Yoimiya, the current owner of Naganohara Fireworks. It ain't much,
Yuimiya es
but
la
it's honest work.
propietaria de
Great to meet ya.
la pirotecnia.
Practically everyone on Hanamizaka knows Yoimiya. She's the queen of the summer festival.
Whoa, that's quite the introduction. Stop it, hon. As for thanking me, you'd be better off thanking Master Masakatsu. His handiwork allowed me to keep my own vision.
Yes, Master Masakatsu is a good man.
Master Masakatsu? Huh? Do you guys know him too?
Está guay la verdad el personaje.
Then
Pero
it
es que
sounds like the Shirasagi
prefiero
Himegimi has a
esperarme
plan.
a que
But
salga
if
esta
I just
Michinita
merged
y
straight
todo
in there
el
by myself. So, what about if I join? Sure, welcome to the team. Ayaka told us to go.
¿Qué me parece si me uno a ustedes? Si ya te tengo.
Seems like I finally got a new job to do. So, Master Masakatsu is being held at the police station. Whoa, talk about a reliable. Not bad, huh? Time to break him out.
Tío, ¿sabes qué me dio rabia? Cuando te metes al principio del juego a pillar la lira. Que yo no exploré para todos los cofres, tío. Eso me dio rabia saberlo después. Y que había más cofres.
Pero dices la lira del evento.
No, la
no, la lira
de la historia,
sí.
la lira sagrada.
Ya, sí. Acabo de caer. Ya, yo tampoco exploré por dentro del sitio ese, la verdad. creo que no abrí ningún solo cofre. Y habría como 3-4 cofres quizás.
Nivel 88 recomendado. Pues estoy muerto. Porque la Shangli la tengo al 60. Me quedo al 80. ¿Qué al 50? Hostia puta.
A ver, el recomendado entre comillas. La idea es que tengas un daño elevado, es lo que te dicen.
Si no me puedo... No. Voy para allá y a chuparla. He hecho cosas peores en esta vida.
Quiero ver.
Now that we're inside, this place is a whole lot creepier.
Come on, this way. As long as I certainly wouldn't want to end up locked away in here. We should split up. I've got a little present to prepare.
You sure?
Yes, you.
Qué guapo, estamos infiltrados. Bueno. Infiltrado entre comillas. Entre muchas comillas infiltrado. A ver, se ha caído. No, te has quedado a nada de caerte. Pues ahí te quedas, si quieres que te diga.
4 misiones de pavos. La puta madre. Me ha tirado aquí todo el día.
Seems we need to collect something shaped like Magatama in order to open it.
¡Guau!
Show me what you've got.
Into the fire. Eat this.
Let me lead you first.
Demasiado, tío.
Don't hold back.
Quinta misión de pavos. Sexta misión de pavos. Madre de
Watch your
Dios.
step.
Van 2 por mapa.
Vale. No me va mal, pero joder, loco. Me encanta el shamisen de fondo. Creo que es shamisen. ¡Eh!
Who goes there?
Coño, que son trampas, me cago en todo. El otro guardia parece que ha vuelto, sí.
Boba, get them.
Rise.
I've lost.
This wall looks a bit odd. Maybe there's some special trick to it. These guys seem a lot tougher than usual. Paimon wonders if that armor over there has anything to do with the source of their strength.
Ostras, te podré tirar.
I must withdraw.
Out of the frying pan.
Vale, esto apagado. Qué guapo. La armadura y todo, hostia. ¡Buah! A tirar ultis de nuevo. Esto por aquí, esto por aquí, esto por aquí, esto por aquí.
Time to act.
Don't hold back. A word. I must withdraw. I dare you. I need to train harder.
Rise.
Boba, get them.
Allow me. I fight. Get this.
Rain outlines your.
Que tome. Pega la Xiangli, que respete.
I've been bested.
No sé si se puede explorar más por este sitio. ¿Qué pinta de ser lineal?
Es lineal, pero hay algún recoveco muchas veces. Tiene algún cofrecito.
Sí, veo que por ejemplo puedo subir por aquí. Tiene aquí un cofrecito.
Doesn't that Magatama shape look pretty similar to the grooves on the door over there?
Qué guapo, hay hasta trampa. Cómo mola. A ver, puedo explorar. Ah, no, es que es por aquí. Ah, soda.
Teach me a lesson.
Wheel of life.
Show me what you've got.
Nice and spicy.
Don't hold back.
Opening box of the Death Ray Tricks.
Get back!
Allow me to strike first.
Vale. Puedo... Vale, sí. No. Hostia puta.
Go.
Watch your step.
No, my sword.
Ah, que está la otra mierda. ¿Ahora qué?
Allow me to strike first. Show me what you've got.
Out of the frying pan, into the fire.
Don't hold back. I need to. I've been train hard rested.
Vale. Madre mía, cómo está la Xiangling.
¿Qué pasa? ¿Que le han tocado mucho?
Sí, bastante.
Además, si a ti esos 60 así, va a meter muy poco daño. Yo la tengo ya a la 80.
Y toma. Pues estoy llegando con la coña. A ver, tira, cáete. Vale, tirado. Nice. Qué guapo, tío. Es como que tienen al tío este súper encerrado. Oh, pues menos más que he movido esta puerta. Vale. Ah, vale, es aquí. Vamos.
Shh! Quick! Hide! That must be Master
Did you really think that little trick of yours could...
Locking you up was just the beginning.
Oh no! Those if we don't come up with a way to break him out fast, then... Yoimiya, when did you get back here?
I can't bear to watch.
Hey, you there! What are you doing?
Ah, ma'am.
We were just teaching him a little
¡Ostras!
lesson, that's all.
Es la... ¿Cómo se llamaba, tío? La de la máscara roja.
That's Kujo
No,
Sora.
Eso,
máscara
Cuyo Sara.
The Kujo clan of the Tenryo
Ah,
Commission.
dice... Ah.
She's also a general in the Shogun's army.
Make way, let me have a look at him. I'm sure you're well aware that torture is strictly against.
Yes, ma'am.
If you are unashamed of such disgraceful action.
Yes, ma'am.
Paimon sure wouldn't want to get on her, but
Hey, this is our chance. Let's move while they aren't watching Master Masakatsu.
Yoimiya, are you sure?
Who is that?
Mierda.
Quick, go and invest.
Yes, ma'am.
They're coming! Quick, hide!
Sorry. I didn't mean to. Don't worry, I've got us covered. Time for my lip.
Huh? Was that an explosion?
It sounded like fireworks.
Quick, let's hurry!
The fireworks were enough to distract them.
Fireworks aren't just for festivals, you know. I was particularly proud of this batch.
Joder, se ha dedicado se ha dedicado a poner mucho fuego artificial. Claro, ahora estarán estos con los oídos pitando.
Well, fireworks are my craft after all. Every batch has to be spectacular.
Look, the coast is clear.
Coño, pues para hacer una prisión, tío, joder. Esto cómoda, tiene hasta un tatami.
Master Masakatsu!
Come on! We've got no time to lose!
Ese. No pilla la Sara.
Yes. Lee, he's in serious condition. Be sure he gets immediate. But remember, once he's recovered. And
well... you can bet we'll do all we can.
Ah, mira, nos deja ir, es buena people. Ah, el tío está grave, pero puede correr. ¡Hola, qué cofre! Al fondo está el guardia que quedó vivo. Es el único guardia. Pobrecito. Venga, vámonos ya de aquí, hombre.
Yes.
Master Masakatsu,
Don't worry. I think I can make it to the infirmary without...
thank you. All of you. I'll take him to get treated.
Don't worry about us. Just take care of Master Masakatsu. Good thing we were able to rescue him. Right, Kujosara. It seems as though there are some okay people among the ranks of the Tenryou Commission. How about we go tell Ayaka and the others the good news?
Y está en la cárcel, joder. El puto logro. Rescata al maestro Masakatsu. Para Shanglin la tengo medio muerta. La puedo subir al 70. Incluso.
I see. So Kujo-Sara stayed her hand. I wonder if we should try establishing contact with her.
Unlikely. Don't forget, Kujo-Sara is also carrying out the Vision Hunt decree. In her eyes, Master Masakatsu is of no threat to the decree. If our true motives were ever divulged...
True. Though if you ask me, Master Masakatsu's, we are now one step closer to victory. You're turning out to be even more reliable than we expected.
Don't mention it.
Indeed. Things may have turned out very differently this time without the help of the Traveler. But if we wish to mount any sizable resistance against the Vision Hunt decree, there is still much to be done. It is time we make ready our next set of plans.
There's no need to rush, my lady. Things seem to have taken a turn for the better, at least. Yes, which reminds me. The Tenryou Commission seems to be making preparations, and the number of samurai out enforcing the Vision Hunt decree seems to be waning.
A ceremony, you say?
I don't know, but I'm sure it has nothing to do with us. Anyway, with the Tenryou Commission busy with preparations, we should have a little more breathing room than usual.
Being in a constant state of alert will only tire us further. Toma.
I'd say a celebratory feast is in order. Might I suggest an evening of hot pot together? Funny enough, I learned a new hot pot game recently.
A hot pot game? What's that?
Simply put, every person prepares an ingredient to add to the hot pot. Once the meal begins, we add all the ingredients together. Then we take it in turns to close our eyes, pick an ingredient out of the pot. Anyone who guesses correctly can go again, and whoever finishes the meal with the most points. Don't you think it sounds like fun? I've been
You really do want to play. Well, sounds like we've got our work cut out for us. Time to gather some ingredients. Ooh, Paimon proposes we gather raging demon level junk. This is already shaping.
Shabu shabu, madre
my
mía.
stomach! It feels like Yoimiya's fireworks are going off
El
inside me.
picante.
Who would have guessed that Toma would be the winner? He ate practically all the
Salt-crusted herring, unripe lavender melon, flash-boiled dongo. Hold up, my life is starting to flash.
You've only got yourself to blame, Toma. All those
But weren't you
Madre
the
mía.
one who added those little cakes, Ayaka? Boiling cakes in hot pot.
I must apologize. To be perfectly honest,
Uh-oh, I'm...
Pobre Toma.
You know, Toma, all you had to do was guess wrong on purpose and it would have been someone else's turn.
Guess I've been feeling unlucky recently, and perhaps I did get a little carried away. Still, I think my luck has already taken a... So without further ado, I hereby declare...
Oh, bruh.
Good effort, team. Another import...
yes. If the Tenryou Commission truly is as busy with the extra time, there are some...
Let's all take some much-needed time off. After downtime is hard to come by these days, so I'll tidy things up here and start thinking about our ingredients for our next round.
There's gonna be a sequel?
Sure, why not?
Bye, Toma. Seems we won't need to be visiting the Komori tea house for a while. Why don't we go explore some other places?
Ok, pues ya está. Capítulo 2 terminado. La diosa inmutable y la utopía eterna. ¿Qué hace? Ah, simplemente salir.